not supposed to work. There's not supposed to be a person involved, but I got the Mac Pass and it was pretty dope. Anyways, I just thought I would document that, but it didn't go so well. I gotta talk about documentation, but we are going over the Mighty Mac, and that's always an exciting thing. Doesn't matter how many times I do it. When I was a kid, it's exciting. As an adult, it's still exciting. Here comes the bridge. That's what Hazel says. Anyways, documentation. It's many people think it's the least exciting part of this whole process, but it's equally as important as the research and the design. So the reason it is important is because if you make something and open source it but you don't document it well, no one's going to use it. To me, there's two types of open source. There's open source and there's open source. And the quote-unquote open source, what that is when someone says, oh, here's the thing I made, and it's put up on the internet, but they don't document it. And so it's really hard to be able to use it or modify it. And so it's open source in the fact that the source files are available, but that's about it. Yes. So writing a good paper that documents kind of how you arrived at the design and also how to replicate that design, right? I already talked about it's important to be able to show how they can characterize it, but being able to replicate it and actually like a step-by-step set of instructions is important. And the other important thing with documentation is your actual design files, right?
Hey, Mom,
So
I like the gates.
she likes the gates, the big tower things. Those are the gates. Anyways, oh crap, we're about to be on the things that go bzzz. Hopefully that doesn't come through. It's probably a really low noise, so I should wrap it up. Or I can get in the other lane here and do it safely so I don't like fly off the side of the bridge. Anyways, so the next important part of documentation is...
Are you talking about bridge?
We're not talking about the bridge. No.
Are you talking about bridge?
I am talking about the bridge. I am talking about it a little bit. Anyways, the last most important part is your design files, right? So don't just put up schematics, right? Make sure that those schematics are annotated and annotated well so people know, okay, this sub-circuit is blah, or this part right here is some connector. You know, make sure that everything that you put in your design files is very explicit so people know what to do with those files. So later we'll organize our files into a repository, and that is an important step, right? Putting those things in a way that really makes sense and corresponds to the way that you talk about those design components in your paper. So yes, and then obviously there's all the stuff with writing a good paper that always comes into play with documentation, but that's covered in every single class ever, so I'm not going to get deep into that. So cool.